tolerance, you don't get what you want. The more tolerant you are, the less likely you are to get what you want. What do I mean? Let me show you the world of probability, how tolerance comes into play, and how it relates to the concept of a range. Probability is a complicated thing. We all think we're going to win the lottery, but we know very few people win. Sometimes nobody wins, and sometimes multiple people win all at once. How does it work? Does lightning strike twice? Does the same person get struck by lightning more than once, maybe in the same day? Don't they say it's once in a lifetime? Does this guy have multiple lifetimes? Well, obviously he has multiple lives. Let's pretend there's a little island somewhere called Green Island because all the people are green and the island itself is green. The people are of different heights, as is normal. You can make a graph of their heights. Some are 5'4", some are 5'0", some are 5'8", all varying heights. So let's take these numbers. I'll just write 5.4 for 5 foot 4 inches and put them on a line. The middle line is 5.6, and these are the numbers all around 5.6. This is basically 5.6 with a tolerance of about 3%. What? What do I mean by tolerance? Let me show you. This is the mathematical calculation of tolerance, and I'll go over it later. Here is a line. I'm classifying diodes that I had just bought. It's a line, however, just like the heights of the people on Green Island. It's a scale. Here are 5 diodes. I want to classify them according to their voltage, the numbers which are very similar to the heights of the people on Green Island. And here I have 5 more. In total, I have about 40 diodes I want to classify. This is the test setup where I measure the Zener voltage for each diode, and then I put them where they fall in the line. This is right before I classify the last 10. Look, there are no diodes at 5.60. There are none at 5.7, none at 5.75. There are quite a bit below, one above. There's a range of voltages, and there's actually a lot of diodes that have fallen off this scale that are lower than 4.5 volts. I put them somewhere else. From the diodes you see here, what do you think is the reference value that is given? What voltage of diodes did I buy? What diode voltage do I want? 5.6. I bought 5.6 volt diodes, but you never able to guess based on the values I actually got, right? They were sold to me correctly. They actually are. 5.6 with a tolerance of 5% is a range of 5.3 to 5.9. So yeah, this is all that was promised me. They didn't promise me they were going to sell me a 5.6 volt diode. They promised me they'll sell me a 5.6 volt diode with a tolerance of 5%. But basically, I want a 5.6 volt diode. I bought 50 of them and still gonna get a 5.6 volt diode. Really? What's the issue here? The issue is tolerance. See, we're able to tolerate some variation in how something is spelled. This is frequently done in the captcha checks you have to do online. You can read this word tolerance even though some parts of it are missing. And when they make something, they also have some variation in the manufacturing process. So even though the diodes are made in the same way, even though they're trying to hit that 5.6, they're not all exactly the same as we've seen. And when somebody says there's a range of heights of green people, 5.4 to 5. You wouldn't think it's strange that there's nobody that's exactly 5.6. We all understand what the range means. And so it's better to understand tolerance as a range. 5.6 give or take 5% is the same as 5.3 to 5.9. My diodes are within the range, within the tolerance. That's all that was promised me. I was not promised a diode that is 5.6. I could still buy 100 and never get one that's exactly 5.6. So what do I do if I really need it? Well, then you have to look at precision and accuracy, which is our topic for next time.